let's see if this works. If not, then I'll have to figure it out. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Yes. Perfect. Awesome. I needed to restart my phone for whatever reason, for it to work. How's everyone doing? I gotta get situated now. I was expecting it not to work. Okay. "3 a.m. here." Where is here? Can't be anywhere close to where I am. I am in Las Vegas. I just got done doing a boot camp all weekend. We did 3 days, 3 nights, and it was intense. The last night being a exotic dancers, hired guns, and models night. So we did the seminar portion during the day, and then we went out to practice our skills on some hired guns and exotic dancers. And it was fun. It was really fun. I had a great time. So I'm worn out. And today I spent the day at a beach club. So I've gotten the sun and I'm exhausted, but we're here. I'm tuned in. I'm ready for your questions. Whenever you guys are ready, please fire them off and we will get started. Until you guys do, however, I am going to give you guys the lowdown of what's been happening. I've been doing a lot of boot camps, a lot of one-on-ones. I have had very little time to do these lives. That's why I kind of took a break from them. I kind of got into a place where I realized that every time I do these lives, the same handful of questions keep happening. And I've been trying to figure out ways to deal with those questions and be able to give you guys a lot of value. So I've got a ton of stuff that I'm working on, and I'm excited to bring you guys a lot of content that should help answer those kind of basic questions, you know? Usually when guys come to work with me, they have already either been exposed to game for a while or they've put in enough work to where they're at a certain level and they want to get to a higher level. And occasionally some guys just start out, but I like to work with guys that want the creme de la creme of what this game has to offer. So the basic questions and things like that, I feel like can be solved in a myriad of ways that isn't the live. Because the live should be for guys that are tackling problems on the ground. It shouldn't be for guys that still need to get theory under their belt in order to game properly. A lot of the guys that I'm talking to, I've realized that they are not necessarily gaming efficiently or gaming properly. And what I mean by that is when they go out, they spend way too much time while they're out and then have very little sets at the end of the night to show for it. If you're going out for 4 hours and all you're taking away from your night is 4 sets, well, I can tell you that your 3 warm-up sets already dictate that you only had 1 set that could have possibly offered a learning opportunity on average. So make sure that if you're going out, efficiency is your number 1 friend when it comes to getting good at the skill development of this journey. So if you're after your skill set development, make sure that you're getting a lot of sets. It's volume and velocity is the best way to approach it. If you open a dozen sets at least in 2 hours, in 3 hours, assuming that most of your sets aren't going very well when you're starting out or when you're practicing your stack. And if you're practicing perfect, like a lot of the guys find out on boot camp, they haven't been practicing perfect. They have either been finding a system within their system, within the system. They are either getting their feet wet with material and applying it whenever they feel it's needed, but not having a comprehensive and cohesive game plan for going out and interacting with the people that are out there. I like to think of it as you can either practice perfect or you can practice loose, right? And some guys, they practice loose. They go in field and they just get their feet wet. They just, have a little routine here and there and then try to go back to whatever they were doing or get into worse, regular guy conversation. Just the bore of all the stuff of the guys that have come before you. And then some guys just like to say, well, I like to wing it. I can tell you with absolute certainty, unless you've developed the skills that comes from practicing material, most likely for 5,000 sets in your life, you're not going to be able to wing things like the pros do. And your winging things starts to water down your game. That's what I'm finding out is the biggest problem with everyone that I either get on the ground and haven't worked with, or guys online when I get to the bottom of it, or guys that I coach on Skype. That's really what it is. Everybody is watering down their game. It's this, I'm going to inject all this fluff that's not needed to keep it going. The number one thing that you have to do when you open a set is keep it moving. You have to keep it going forward. And any time that you add any fluff, any time that you wait for a response and then you let her talk or you let the group talk or you let the guy friend talk and you don't lead the set, you are watering down your game. And you can't afford to do that because yes, some sets will allow you to get away with that bad behavior, but the sets that I go into, the ones that are of my particular interest, they don't. And they're not going to let you either. So keeping your game as tight as you possibly can so that it meets the objective as quickly and efficiently as possible. A, when you're starting out, is going to allow you to get more sets in. But B, for the sets that actually matter, the ones that you think right now are unattainable, those are the ones that you have to exercise this even more so because they're not going to give you the time. They're used to guys always coming up to them and fluffing them out, just giving them a bunch of nonsense that's not needed. They're saying 7 words when only 4 will do. They're waiting for responses. They're letting everybody lead the set except them. Remember, 90% of the time in the set should be you talking up until qualification. It's only at 8-3 should you change the dynamic and now let her talk. Why? Because you have to look at it this way. At the end of qualification, you have, in a way, sang a song to her. And that song is going to allow her to dictate whether she wants to qualify herself, aka DHV, demonstrate higher value, to you because of the song that you sang. And now it's her turn to sing a song to see if you want to align with it. The reason qualification is so important is because a lot of guys don't operate from a place of option. They don't have 10 girls as far as options in their lives that are the girls they want. So they don't have the process mechanism in their brain to qualify women, to ask them, what is it about you, number 11, mindset-wise, that is going to make me want to pick you over the 10 that I already have? And without that mechanism, without that dynamic of qualification, it doesn't feel right for her. It lets her know instantly that you are not a guy that's accustomed to having women in your life. And if you're not a guy that doesn't have women in your life, it's not the best possible option for her. So the qualification process allows her to demonstrate her value to you, and then you can reward her for it. And that's the point of it. So no sense in this watering down of your game, because if you water it down and you keep interjecting this fluff that I see a lot of guys doing, and that's, making little silly comments that don't aid their game. It's just fluff. It doesn't demonstrate higher value. It's not an instant value demonstrator. It's not something that's building, raising buying temperature. It's not breaking rapport. It's doing nothing. It's fluff. It's absolute garbage. And they keep interjecting their game and their structure with it and then wonder why they don't get the girl. Well, if you keep all that shit out of it and just stick to your material, open the set, make sure you say something that stimulates, that causes them to have fun, right? So they know that you're not the boring type. And then get into a longer story where you can demonstrate your value. At the end of that story, if your body language is correct, if your delivery is that of the not norm, in the sense of you're more theatrical, you're more into your material, and more enthusiastic about what you're saying than most guys, then at the end of that, she's going to want to qualify herself to you, because you're going to be, if not anything else, different than any other guy that has approached her that night or in the past month or ever, period. So don't water down your game. Anytime you add any shit to it, you're leaving yourself up for potential nonsense. So that's my rant on that. So let's look if anybody sent any questions, because I bet you guys didn't. I bet you guys are just listening. Yeah, see, a lot of, dropping gems, words of gold, a lot of hearts, a lot of stuff like that, but no one's asking questions because you guys are just tuned in. See what happens when you're good at captivating? People just lock in. How do you build attraction effectively during the approach? Oh, that's not specific enough of a question, right? How do you build attraction effectively? I just said it. You open, stimulate, captivate, and then qualify. That's it, right? Try to ask a more specific question, and then that would reveal more, because that right there, I just literally answered it, and it's you have to follow the game plan. If you don't follow the system, then you're leaving yourself up. So go ahead, ask another question. When do you lock into the set versus just work in the room? Well, here's the thing. You can lock into set and work the room simultaneously. That's actually what you're doing when you're locking in, is you're working the room. The point of locking into set is that you're able to be seen by other people in the venue as a guy that's on the inside, right? If you don't lock in and you're in the set, whether it's 40 minutes and the set is going well, you're still to the room, a guy on the outside hitting on the girls. So then when you go open another set, which you should be anyways, maybe you're gonna forwards merge the set you're in, right? Then if you don't do that, when you go into that set, they think you're weird, because you've just been the guy that's hitting on the girls. So you want to lock in at the appropriate time. But when is that time? That's the question, right? Well, let's break it down. Let's break down the system. Do you want to lock in before you open, right? Lock in, then open? No, because then it looks like you're there to stay, and you're not invited to sit down with them. So they'll hit you with the, you can't sit with us, mean girl style, and then you're out, right? So what about after the opener? Right? You say the opener, you get a little bit, and then you sit down. Well, to me, that's a novice. That's how a novice will play. He'll sit down because now he feels like, oh, they've given me enough to sit down. While a guy like me, a high value guy, would never sit after an opener. Why? You haven't earned it. I'm used to everything that I say girls and people enjoy. They become a guest in my reality. So that's how I operate. I don't just say a little thing, and if they accept me, and I'll take what I can get mentality, I'll sit down. No, you have to earn me sitting down, right? So I open, and then I stimulate. Now I say something fun. I hit him with best friends test, right? I hit him with good girl, bad girl, magic carpet, all those routines, I hit him with that. That to me is a test to them to see if they're fun. It's letting them know that I'm fucking with them. I'm not after them. I'm not saying things that the typical guy that's hitting on them would say. And then after they come back with a response, and in the form of laughter and approval, then that's enough for me to say, you know what? I can stay now. You guys have earned it based on how you guys have responded to my stimulus, and now I can sit down. And therefore, for them, it also feels like it's earned. And then they will want me to sit down even more so. So once I sit down after the stimulator, I begin my captivator before I even sit down. Because the bigger the moment that it becomes, the worse it is. So for example, if I'm standing up and I'm talking to the set here,
right? And there's a chair here and they're over here. I'm over the shoulder, right? Which, by the way, I think you should open over the back more than over the shoulder, because high value male behavior is over the back. You don't care enough to even turn. You're gonna open over the back. And then after the opener is receptive, you're gonna turn over the shoulder to say your stimulator. And then after your stimulator, you staying over the shoulder, you're gonna lock in. Why do you wanna be over the shoulder for the stimulator? Because I don't want to invest too much. I don't want to turn to the set and talk to them facing them. That's too much value. If I'm high value, I don't operate that way. So I want to stay over the shoulder, shoot the shit for the stimulator. Based on their response, that tells me I can lock in. If they don't, for whatever reason, don't like the stimulator, or if you guys go in and the stimulator doesn't hit, you can just, because you're over the shoulder, just walk away, because you're body rocking anyways. So you're walking away and you're preserving your value for the rest of the venue. And then boom, you can open another set, not having that compromise anything. So let's say it goes well. Now I'm going to start my captivator. So let's say I do my best friends test and I end off with, and you look first, which means you kind of run shit. Nice. So I high five, I will pull the chair out and go, did you guys see the girls fighting outside? Oh my God, get this, these two girls, and now I'm locked in. And if they were here, I'm actually over the shoulder here again. So that's perfect, a perfect way to lock in with them here. And that's me shooting the shit and now slowing it down and being able to lean back and look cool and look like the guy that's been accepted, or the guy that knows them, or the guy that came with them, depending on to who is looking. And that's making the game so much easier for me. So keep that in mind when you're going in, that you lock in right after the stimulator and you start your captivator as you lock in, because then it's not a big move. Understood? All right, let's see here. How was Encore Beach Club? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. I'm exhausted, you know? So to be able to still go and create that was good. What should you do if there is a parent in the set? Win them over. A parent is just an ugly girl, you know? Win them over. That's just what it is. You have to win the group over, whether it's parents, whether it's the brother, whether it's, you know, whoever else, the boss. You have to win people over and let them know that you're not after the target. If you can let them know you're not after the target, then you're able to speak more freely. And Hans, by the way, the online boot camp coming up that you're on, it's gonna fucking blow your mind, just so you know. When pick a target, do you ever lock into one for the whole night? If I have a target for the night, right, I'm going to be working the room so that she's able to see my dynamics within it. I'm going to be opening sets. I'm going to try to get the highest value set in the venue to have to allow her to see me with the highest set in the venue. The highest value set in the venue, so that when I go in, I'm pre-selected, right? If I can have her see the interaction with me and the bottle girl, right? The 9.5 bottle girl, then for her to see that tells her everything she needs to know as far as pre-selection. So it allows me to then, if I want, after having demonstrate just a simple laughter, or if I even know the girl, I can get a hug and say, you again, right? And then get a hug and say, how have you been? Good. All right, get back to work and we'll talk soon. If I just have that, I can bet your ass off that she's definitely watching that, right? So I can then, as I walk by, open her with any other opener, and it will work because she has seen me pre-selected. And that's how I would do it. So I'm not necessarily locking into her just yet, right? I'm gonna work the room and then I'm gonna work the set that I want. Right? So after I'm in set and I lock in with her, right? I can't just stop it there. I have to show the willingness to walk away, right? That's an attractive switch. The willingness to walk away is one of the evolutionary attraction switch. Honestly, it is the #1 attraction switch in my mind. Why? Well, some guys might say, but Colgate, it's pre-selection. No, it's fucking not. Your willingness to walk away from something going well shows pre-selection. It shows that you have 10 girls at home. You got rid of your mattress. You're sleeping on a pile of women. There's some girls hanging from your chandelier, right? So you being able to, if a 10 was to, a real fucking 10 was to sit on your lap and start making out with you in at some point in your set, for you to be able to say, slow this down, baby, we gotta get back to our friends. Holy shit. Your ability to slow it down with her tells her that you've had 20 of her. 20 of the 10s. Otherwise, if you don't slow it down, you haven't. So slowing it down is key. That willingness to walk away is key. And you don't want to just lock into her. Otherwise, it shows her that you don't have that. So make sure that you forwards merge. You say, hey, let's go meet some people here. I hear there's some cool people here tonight. And then boom, go fucking meet some other people and open some set and show her dynamics. Show her that you're a social guy. So that on your day 2, when you talk to the waitress and the waitress gets a laugh, she can't get mad at that because you haven't interacted with anybody else but her. She has seen you're a social guy. This is who you are. And that way you can still game and you can still practice your stuff as you're going out with her. And not for the sake of getting another girl, but just to keep yourself in the groove, but also to create attraction switches for her. She will find it awesome if you can chat your way into a restaurant that has a line and a waiting fucking time. If you can just get in without even dealing with it because you're just good at it and the waiter just, the host just likes you, perfect. But you have to start that somewhere, and you can't wait until, the relationship. You can't wait until 4 dates in. You have to start as soon as you're in set with her to show her that you have the willingness to walk, the willingness to get into set, to be social, boom. So then you forwards merge. Or you can say at some point, hey, I got to go to the bathroom real quick. And unlike you, I'm not going to take my buddy with me. So hang tight and I'll be right back. And then you go to the bathroom and just let her sit there for 5-10 minutes and feel what it is to not have you there when she's just been through 20-30 minutes of stimulus from you and fun, and now she's kind of revealed herself because you've ran tight material and you've seen that after qualification she's a girl worth getting to know. So now you're bringing out the best stuff, and boom, all of a sudden you come back and she's like, holy shit, this guy has a direct influence in how I'm feeling tonight. So yes, you lock in. Yes, you do all that, but you have to be able to walk away and show her that you're a socially dynamic, social person. And if you do a combination of the two and move her with you, bring her along with you for some of it, she will appreciate you a lot more and it will resonate a lot more on the next day. Fucking fired up right now. So you should open, stimulate, and captivate without waiting for them to reply, and then let them give a response after qualifying. Yes, so when I say that, right, remember 90-10, let them interject with a little bit. Just don't wait for a response, right? So if you will, if I was running a stack, it would be something along the lines of, hey guys, Brad Pitt or Angelina, one night, who would you pick? See, what I'm saying is Brad Pitt. See, I'm not saying it had to be a gay thing, but Brad Pitt's gonna bring cigars, he's gonna bring whiskey, we get to have Clooney talk. Do you know how long I've been wanting to have Clooney talk? Angelina Jolie is gonna try to build a school and visit a hospital and adopt some kids. It's Friday night, I'm in Las Vegas, I am not in that headspace, am I right? Oh, wait a second, you guys are best friends. See, I can so tell, you guys make the same exact facial expressions. Like, watch this, ready? Do you guys use the same shampoo? See, it doesn't even matter. The fact that you guys looked at each other just screams out, best friends. And you looked first, which means you kind of run shit. Nice. Oh, did you guys see the girls fighting outside? Oh man, these two girls, they were fighting outside, and the bouncer, the dude at the door, he's just standing there, right? So I'm walking in and I go, hey dude, you should probably sort that out, right? And he's like, oh, okay. So he goes over, right? He grabs one of the girls The other girl, she's free to go. It's a 2-in-1 fight at this point, right? And with girls fighting, you want to kind of grab popcorn, right? When guys fight, you're just like, ugh, right? So they're going at it. I'm watching, right? They're fighting over a guy. I talked to him afterwards. His name was George. Who's fighting over a guy named George? There's a lot going on. But all of a sudden, she reaches over, pulls the girl's top down. Now look. Normally I'm like, welcome to Las Vegas, but this was one of those saggy, baggy boobies from National Geographic. It was the worst. Oh man, I know. When was the last time you guys were embarrassed? Done. End of routine. And that's the pace and the timing, more or less, that you want in your sets. If you can do it that way, now you shut it off. It's a rant. It's a fucking rant with a song that you're playing and performing and out, and at the end of that fucking rant, she gets a sense of who you are, the character, the personality, the guy behind the clothes, and then boom, she wants to qualify. Make sense? If it does, put some hearts up. Let me know it's real. All right, good. I see you guys appreciated that. And it's like that every time. 0 to hero. 0 to hero. Whether the set's a 10, whether the set's a 6, it doesn't fucking matter. It's people. Let go of the scale a bit, right? Let go of this mentality that we have with the scale, right? We have to let that go and just open sets and practice perfect and shoot it 0 to hero every fucking time. Because then, when the girl of particular value, the one that matters, the 10 in your eyes, when she's there, it'll be no different. You'll just go, automate it, done. Get the girl. Make sense? How to deal with those guys who are stronger than you and can really beat you. Stronger than me in what way? Pickup? Show me. Who? I can't find them. Stronger than me physically? There's tons. I see them all the time. If you win somebody in a verbal joust, they become disarmed mentally. If they're disarmed mentally, they feel a social violation if they were to take physical action. So outsmart someone and get the girls to laugh at them, and you've disarmed them. If he was to hit you, he's not getting the girls already, and he's definitely not getting the girls if he hits you. I can diffuse any situation socially by doing that. Any guy that has ever come at me pissed off, I will win a verbal joust with him and hit him with my soundbite all the time. I'll exchange some shit, right? Because he always comes up a different way. And then I just say, whoa, whoa, man. And then I try to give him something there where if he says, oh, you're hitting on my girl, I go, well, your girl is good looking. So you not accepting guys hitting on her tells me that you don't think she is. You know, I always say if guys aren't hitting on my girlfriend, I fucked up. So I think you should feel the same way. And then whatever he says, I go, look, man, I'd love to sit here and continue this battle of wits with you, but it's obvious to me that you're unarmed. So let's just go our separate ways. Fair? And then I let him dictate it. And if he doesn't, well, then I got to knock him out. And that's kind of just how that goes. Because I'd rather swing first and knock someone out than have somebody swing first and potentially knock me out. That's just kind of how I've been taught. So that's what I would do. If the guys can beat you in game, well, you have to get fucking better game and then not deal with that anymore. Because otherwise, then you're fucked. And you're always going to let guys walk all over you while you're in set. Advice on how to get more mindful of the sets I open. I sometimes get lost and forget who I open during the night and forget faces. Oh, well, I don't know, man. You have to maybe write some notes and put what color shirt they have on and describe them a bit and take yourself out of being out, because ideally you should be opening sets no problem. You should also be going to a venue that has a lot more sets so that that's not even a thing, you know? If you're having a problem with faces, then I would say keep a log on your phone to assist you with who you're going to open next. But again, that starts to take you away from actually being present in the moment. So maybe you need to search independently on a Google search how to remember faces better and read some articles there. That's a bit more advanced. That's a little bit more
out there than what the scope of game covers. Advanced game techniques plus social circle tips. Advanced game techniques in what area? Day twos, relationships, hired guns, Matador Mayhem, Art of Cool, right? There's so many advanced game areas, and luckily I'm qualified to teach them, but you have to be more specific in order for me to assist in the question. Who did you learn game from? Well, I will tell you what has contributed to my game. I pretty much have been around the top guys that do this. When I first started out as an intern for Venusian Arts, the main person that I was hanging out was with Love Drop. That's kind of why Love Drop and I share a lot of commonalities when it comes to our delivery and our way of being and the way that we approach our mindset with game. Love Drop is one of the most, I would say, underrated PUAs out there. He's responsible for so much in this, and not a lot of guys give him credit for what he's actually done for this. So if you don't know anything about Love Drop, make sure that you definitely look him up and listen to what the man has to say, because it is absolute gold when it comes to how to get the cool girls and how to get the hot girls. So yeah, Love Drop, Mystery as well has played a fundamental role in my game. I think I modeled my game and the way that I approached it more towards Mystery. That's why a bit of my delivery sounds a bit like his, sometimes people say. And I always had a fascination and an admiration and an appreciation and all of that for the way that the guy spoke, because hands down, the best delivery in the industry goes to him. He can literally get anyone to listen to anything that he wants to say, and that's incredible. And captivate people nonstop. So Mystery as well. Mystery was always there to give me insight if I asked him for specific situations, because he just liked to talk shop. So I could just come up to him and just say, hey man, I need help with this situation that's going on. And he would just offer, minutes, if not hours of advice on how to understand the dynamic of that. We used to talk online a lot when I wasn't on the ground with him. So Mystery played probably the biggest direct influence to how my brain was shaping at the time when I was 15, 16. Matador as well, because Matador was a 4 words, not a 7 words guy, but every time he spoke, I wrote it down or I kept it in mind, because it was just, it wasn't any fluff. He didn't have to take an hour to explain. He could explain it with 2 fucking words and lines, and that was what Matador was really good at, the direct way of handling the issue and figuring it out. And his way of being, mentality, mindset was just incredible. So Matador as well. And then Discovery also played a role in helping with delivery. I think his delivery skills are really good. So he played a role there in shaping that. But around 18, I would say that I kind of had already gotten what I could have gotten out of them. And a lot of the times there's this illusion of, guys stretching themselves to teach other guys, and there really wasn't that back then. Everybody was kind of just chasing girls and trying to chase tail in the next city and hold boot camps and all that. So anything that I've gotten from these guys was me going up and asking them, which is why I make myself available to any guy that I work with, because I feel like I didn't have that back then. I didn't have the guys coming up to me and trying to really instill this protege thing in me. I took it upon myself to ask all the fucking questions, to bother the fuck out of everybody and get the feedback that I needed or the coaching that I needed so that I could go and then do it right. So with that, and then me going out and honestly getting rejected a fucking shit ton times has shaped how my game is. So I've gotten a lot of real world experience and not just listen to what the next guy has said, because even with me, if you're just fucking listening, and you're not going out and learning things for yourself based on what I'm helping you guys learn so that you can go and practice, then you're limiting yourself to start with. So yeah, I would say those 4 guys, Neil helped with my understanding of how important routines were, and just kind of which routines kind of hit better at the time. That kind of has changed a bit with how the way the landscape of what dating and meeting people are today, and what people's interests are and what their attention spans are. But overall, I understood material that worked and material that didn't, which was able to allow me to take the routines that are out there, evolve them, make them better, make them for the girls today, so that you're not going out with outdated routines, right? My routines are fucking polished. They're fucking laser focused on getting you the girls that you know you want. So yeah, I would say those guys definitely played a role, and that's pretty much it. You know, anybody else that I've looked at, I've gotten maybe some nuggets of gold from them for sure, here and there. But as far as a framework, as far as a mentality, as far as all that stuff, the guys that I'm talking about for sure. Day 2 basics, I teach a breakout on that. And the comments that you said before don't allow me to really feel compelled to answer. Just because guys that talk like that just aren't the guys that I work with, you know? Calibration, that's an in-depth answer as well. We're running out of time, so I'm gonna go save that for the next call for sure. But I will handle it. Tune in next time, and I got you on calibration. Is the intern position still open? Yes, I just sent a bunch of emails to guys right now. If you want to get an email to see if you're qualified, please DM me your email, and I will send you my intern criteria list and see if we can get the conversation going. I'm a newbie. Any suggestions how to start the game? Well, you should go after the structure, right? Go read Mystery Method if you have not, and make sure that your understanding of what the structure is and what the terms are and all that stuff is up to speed. If you have already done that and you're, you know, at that next point, the easiest way is to set yourself a schedule that allows you to go out and make yourself some process goals. You know, number of sets, what routines you're gonna run, things like that. The next thing I'd recommend is for you to create a cheat sheet for you so that you can go out with, and that cheat sheet should contain all your material, not necessarily in written form, but just in one-line form, their names. And if you need to know how to create a cheat sheet, send me a DM and I will let you know how to do those and walk you through it. And then the next thing is just having the mindset component of going out to interpret material and to interpret the lessons and to interpret what you're going to get out of going out and interacting with people at the first phase of it, right? All that stuff can help as well. So if you need a real mental download, my ebook, The Mindset, will do exactly that. It's designed so that you can read it and then start to actually internalize what you see, read, hear later in a better way, because you'll know how to operate from the place that you have to in order to actually compel yourself to the girls. So I would recommend those things, yes. How long should A1 to A3 last? Like, how long do you stay in set? How long do you stay in sets longer? Is this the comfort phase where you repeatedly build comfort? Is qualifying the best way to get to the comfort phase? Qualifying is the only way to get to the comfort phase. It's a linear phase. You can't skip it, right? So qualifying absolutely has to happen before comfort. A1 to A3 for me in a typical set will last anywhere between 12 to 17 minutes, on 15 minutes on average. I've tightened my game so that it's exactly that. Just because when I go out, I like to, you know, make sure that I'm in set and I can offer my value and do my thing and then see where it goes. Because most of the times in a venue, there's 2-3 girls perhaps that I am of a particular interest in. So I want to make sure that I'm playing social game, and that's A1 to A3, and keep it within 15 minutes. And then I can say, hey, I got to get back to my friends and open another set, or we should meet some new people and forwards merge so that I'm working for the next girl or the hired gun or the bartender or whatever it is, right? So that's what I think like. 12 to 17 minutes to A3 to the end of it should be perfect. If it's a set that I don't really, I'm not interested in to align with, I'm gonna keep it more on the 12 end of the spectrum than the 17. 17 usually goes for the sets that I'm gonna commit to, right? The sets that I'm like, I actually like this girl. So I'm gonna run my playful qualifier, I'm gonna run a deep qualifier, I'm gonna run my qualification sequence, right? And I'm gonna make sure that those three things I flesh out and get the whys and get the how comes and the tell me mores and all of that, so that at the end of that she really feels compelled and really, really likes me. So yeah, I would say 12 to 17 minutes. Do you know anything about Mystery Method 2.0 and the 5 keys he talks about? I know the 5 keys. Mystery Method 2.0, I have a sense of what that is, absolutely, but that's a better question for Mystery, I believe. All right, I think that's it. It's 7 o'clock here in Las Vegas. I am going to start cleaning up my place because I have some people coming over tonight, and that should be fun. I think we're gonna do either make our own pizzas night or maybe order just some food. Either way, we'll figure it out. But it's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys, answering your questions. Let me know if this helps. Let me know if I should continue doing these. I like to help as much as possible, but I also like to know that it's not going or falling into deaf ears. If you're just listening and you're not going out and practicing, it really doesn't serve the purpose, and it kind of wastes my time. And I'd rather be giving it to the students that I know are going out. And luckily, I've seen a few of you guys on here that I work with directly, so awesome that you guys tuned in especially. For the guys that I don't work with directly, don't think that, you can't approach me on social media and ask me the questions, because I'm more than happy to help. So with that said, I will start a mailing list September 1st for the first time, having as long as I'm doing it. There's a mailing list coming out. So if you aren't subscribed to the mailing list yet, make sure that you go to ASKCOLGATE.com and fill in the game analysis, and that automatically subscribes you. Or you can just put your email towards the bottom of the page and just sign up for the newsletter there. But I'm gonna be giving away a lot of value on there, and hopefully you guys keep going out and keep tuning in, because there's a lot of exciting stuff going on. I'm gonna be releasing my 2020 calendar the 1st of September, and September is a very important month for me. It marks the 2-year anniversary since I started AskColgate. And I remember this month in particular was the month that I made the decision to never work for another pickup company again, and to do it my way and to offer the value that I wanted to offer. And a lot of students from those companies came to Ask Colgate. So I'm very appreciative of the guys that tune in and the guys that followed me and are still with me here. That means the world to me. So I'm giving away a lot of stuff in September and in the coming months. And then, I'm pretty much doing the last boot camp, which is a 10-day program called the Legends Experience. If you want any information on that, go on AskColgate.com/live experiences. That is an awesome program. Fucking expensive, but there's a shit ton of value in it. We're gaming for 10 days, different styles of game, different venues. I'm throwing a party. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna be doing dope shit. We're gonna be in LA, private jet to Vegas. We're gonna be doing a lot of good stuff. So if that's of any interest for anybody, please let me know and we can talk. That's the last program that I have. I have a few online boot camps that I'm doing. Those are working out really well. A lot of guys see the benefit of that because they can't make it to a boot camp, whether visas, money, right? All this stuff that gets in the way, logistics. The online boot camp allows you to take it from the comfort of your home. So if that's of any interest, make sure that you look into it, because there's only a few that are offered left for the year. And then after November, I'm taking a break. So there will be no more boot camps all the way from November, the mid-November, all the way until March. So make sure that if you're planning on doing a boot camp this year, you're looking at your calendars and you're making arrangements and you're letting me know, because if you're thinking you're going to get the last minute stuff, very rare, very rare around here. So the 2020 boot camp calendar comes out next year, comes out September 1st for next year. And start thinking about that too if this year is not in the game plan. However, I'm here, so ask the questions if you have them. If you think that just getting a coaching session works, run it by me. I'll let you know if it can be solved on a fucking DM real quick, or if you actually do, and we can work it that way. Just letting you guys know I'm making myself available. So the best way to get in touch with me is on here. Since you're asking, you can send me a DM here. You can send me a DM on Facebook. You can send me, you can do a game analysis for me so that I get a sense of where you are, so I can understand where you're, what's going on right now to help answer these questions that you're going to DM me better. There's a lot of things you can do. So just talk to me. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know where your head's at, and we'll figure out the best way to get you guys up and going. All right. As always, it's Colgate. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, I'm signing out. Good luck, get out of the house, and make sure that you're practicing perfect, all right? Let me know if this has been useful. I'm gonna be posting this on Facebook. I'm gonna leave it up on here for 24 hours, and if it helps, send me a comment. Make sure you interact with all the posts that I do. I get it, it's game. You don't wanna like it, you don't wanna comment on it, but let me know that you appreciate the stuff that I'm putting out, because if not, then I can just membership program all the stuff, and to the guys that are committed, they'll get all the good stuff, and then I'll just do the minimal stuff for you guys since you're not using it. But yes, in all seriousness, get out there, get gaming, and hopefully that presents a lot of questions so that you guys come back and we can figure it out. All right? Colgate signing out.